Snail travels at a rate of 2.33 feet per minute. The snail travels for 14 minutes before being smashed.
Well, that sounds like, if that's how fast a snail travels, that's a fast snail.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
So it starts at, so that would have to be 2.
Poor snail.
Poor snail.
3. Man, this is terrible. 3 times 14.
Okay, and so what do you
do that for?
What are you calculating right now, Caden?
How many feet he traveled before he got smashed.
Okay, so you're crunching right now how many feet he's going to travel before he gets smashed. Great.
Yes.
Okay, what is
Why
this
do you
problem?
keep doing that?
What is this problem asking us for?
Man. I don't know how to say that word. I know it starts with a D though.
Katie, how do we say the D word?
Domain.
Domain.
Thank you. That would be 32.62. So.
Okay. So refresh your memory. Maybe look at the problem up above. Is our domain our X values or our Y values?
X.
Okay. So what is, if we were going to draw a picture of our snail?
Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot something.
If we were going to make a graph, what's on our X values for our graph?
Feet.
So we have distance and we have time. Which one is the control? Which one controls the other? Okay, Katie, you're writing in minutes along your X-axis. Is that consistent with what happened up here on our X-axis? Time.
Yeah,
okay.
So this would be feet.
Good. So time is our domain. So the question is, what is our domain for our snail? Or what are the possible X values for our snail?
Anything that goes up by 2.33, which would be very hard. So kind of like.
So we've got a graph, constant rate until he dies.
Right at 14 minutes.
Okay.
So
he dies right here at 13 minutes.
14.
Oh, 14 minutes. Okay. Okay. And did you figure out how far he traveled? You crunched it. 32.36?
6.2. 32.62. I know it looks ugly.
That's okay. It all looks ugly here. All right, 14, 32.62. Okay, that's as far as he makes before he perishes, yes?
Oh, you have the pad. I was like, how are you doing this so well?
Okay. Yeah, all that with my mouse. Okay, are we okay with this X and Y value? X value, Y value, yes? Domain and range. Okay, let's make sure we're answering the question though. Who's our answer checker?
Me.
Okay, Caden, what is it asking us to find?
The domain of the function and relate it to the relationship described.
Okay. What's our domain?
Our domain would be 14, right?
14 is our what? Time or distance?
Time.
Time. Katie, what say you?
So 14 is our domain.
Okay.
My mom was taking a picture.
Oh.
That's my best 14 yet.
So.
Yay. You're muted. You're muted, Miss.
I know. We're melting down over here. Okay. So our domain is our X values.
Which would be 14.
Okay. But is 14 the only domain possible? Look at how we wrote our domain up here.
No.
No. What's the smallest number in our domain that's possible?
0
Ah,
or 1.
and what's the largest?
14.
Ah,
Right.
okay.
So it would be 0 and 14. I feel like I'm here alone because everybody else is muted.
Good. I like that. So your X values are greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 14. Boom. All right. Katie, do you like that final answer here?
It looks good to me.
Me too. Okay. So that one was tricky, right? We found out a whole bunch of extra information about that problem. So it was just asking us for our possible X values.
My ears
Okay.
hurts now.
But that's okay. Analyzing a problem is always great. Okay. Now
You
go ahead
just
and do that
got
last one.
really glitchy.
Oh, did I? Okay. Is that better?
Where'd your
Better?
pen
Okay.
go?
All right. Go ahead and talk about number 3, you two.
Okay, let's see. You have $25. I do not have that much money. You want to buy as many Slurpees as you can for the $25. A large Slurpee costs $1.79. That's important. Give the domain X value of the function and relate it to the relationship described. So we have $25 and we want to buy that to get so many Slurpees. So we have $25. We want to buy so many Slurpees. This is very confusing. Each Slurpee costs $1.79. Okay. So $25.
So when you're doing these, it's sometimes helpful to think of it as a graph. What would be on the x-axis of your graph? What would be on the y-axis of your graph?
This would be
So we're keeping track of money and what? What's the other variable in this problem?
Slurpees. So
Number of Slurpees.
So this would be
So which one's your X value?
money.
I think the money, because the number of Slurpees depends on the money.
Money. Looks like a terrible E. I don't even think that is an E. Oh, whatever. Here. Text. Add text. There's a better idea. How would I add? Oh, here. Money.
This one is
Yay.
actually, this one is kind of tricky.
Yes.
Rule of thumb,
Information.
whenever you have money, or excuse me, whenever you have time, time's going to be your X variable or your domain. Same thing with number of items. So here we have number of Slurpees versus money. Your number of Slurpees is actually going to be your X value. Because as your number of Slurpees increases, the amount of money also will increase.
I just realized something that
What?
We've been doing all this stuff and we've had it where it's like minutes. It's all been M for the X value.
For our domain, yeah. Okay, so this one, I'm just going to pull a teacher card and tell you number of Slurpees, yep, is going to be your X here.
Slurpees, and then this is money.
You guys are working great together.
Mouse, no, I want text. Oh yeah, that's right. Doop. Ba-doop, boo. Money. That's easier to see. Oh, you can't even see it. We erase. That's nice. Alright. So we got money, and I'll erase that.
There we go. Okay. So what's our domain?
Our domain is
Slurpee.
Slurpees.
Number of Slurpees, okay? So our question is, what's our minimum number in our domain? What's the maximum number in our domain? We only have 25 bucks.
Divided by.
Ah, all right.
1.79.
See how many you can buy with your 25 bucks.
Ooh, I have the answer.
Okay. Make sure, show work checker, make sure that we're showing our work where our numbers have come from.
I got 13.9
Oh,
Slurpees,
so 13.9 Slurpees.
which, since we have, but we would pretty much just round.
Round to what?
We don't have enough to buy another Slurpee, so
We don't have enough to buy 14, do we?
so it'd have to be 13.
What do you think about that, Katie? Is 13?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can't buy a fraction of a Slurpee.
Perfect.
Or maybe you should buy a smaller Slurpee,
Yeah.
because this is what, the large Slurpee? Yeah, you could buy smaller ones.
A
Maybe
whole
get
lot of
14.
sugar. Okay, so what's the smallest?
0.
And the largest is 13.
13.
Good. And this one is interesting because we actually, like you guys said, there's no fractions allowed. So when we're writing our domain here, we don't want to write it as an inequality because this inequality means that it's all the numbers in between. So the best way to write this is probably just to write out all of your possible numbers in your domain here.
Which is 1 through 13.
There you go. Because
So,
an inequality won't work in this
13.
case.
0 through 13.
0 through 13. You could also type out like all the whole numbers from 0 to 13. But definitely don't use an inequality because inequalities are representing all the micro numbers, all the dirty decimals.
Oh, it's a